Hey you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a video that includes the products from Ali Edwards' Story by the Month. And these are products that, this is actually another subscription that she is doing that's going to be on a monthly basis. And it's going to be a little bit more, I think, themed by the month or holiday themed. This definitely feels a little, you know, like Valentine's or love themed, which would go very well with Valentine's if that's something that you celebrate. So I was thinking about how I might use these products and some of her story kits this year. And the thing that kept coming back to me is how much I loved December Daily. I absolutely loved working on that project this year. I think I just loved the thought of sometimes working in the page protectors and sometimes working outside of the page protectors and just feeling free to be creative. So that's what I'm gonna do. Of course I'm gonna do my project life, and I'm gonna work on those as well, and you will see those process videos on my channel. But I'm also going to be, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing layouts per se. It's definitely gonna be a little bit more like December Daily, where I'm using some of the pocket page protectors to be able to tell some of my stories, but allowing myself to be more creative. So I just wanted to show you this album that I started last year. So this is actually one of Ali Edwards' albums. I'm not sure if they're in the shop, but if they are, I'll link to it. It's just black. It's got a silver plate here. And if you recall, I started this album back in, well, last year, 2017, and it was gonna be an album just about me. And I didn't actually get very far. I kind of started working on some things and telling some stories. And I, you know, intentionally wanted to just do some really random things. But as I was thinking about this project, I thought that it'd be such a good idea to put my stories in here, and just because this is all about me and I'm telling stories about, this one in particular is about me and my husband, but I'll be telling stories about my children and just everything that's going on in my life, and I thought this would be a great place for it. Anyway, so this is where all of my stuff is gonna go into this album. So I am gonna be working on a 6x8. I thought about doing a traveler's notebook. I thought that that would be a fun size to play around with, but I'm gonna do it on this size because I really love December Daily. And you know what, I think this is where I've been putting like any extras that I have here. So I'm gonna pull out 2 of these here. Oh no, I just need one. I think I just need one. All right, so I just want to go ahead and show you some of the supplies that come in the Stories by the Month kit before I jump in and show you my process. So it comes with some 3x4 and 4x6 cards. This Love You, I absolutely love that card. I remember seeing it in digital form and really wanted to get it. Here are some of the 4x6s that come with the set as well. Really love when Ali includes her quotes with her handwriting. Those are fun to use. And then it also is coming with a smaller, I think this is like a 3x4 size stamp set that's got a lot of love and loving type sentiments that you can use for a variety of projects. And then it does come with a chipboard set. I couldn't find it at the time. I do locate it because I definitely wanted to use it in my layout, but you'll see that coming up in just a minute. I also wanted to let you know, if you've not bought any of Ali Edwards products before, that her cards are such great quality. I have been super impressed with how thick the cardstock is and just the quality of her products. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. Also just wanted to point out that the Stories by the Month subscription is a great alternative to the story kits if you are interested in getting some products every month. This has a great price point and it's fun to be able to get some new stuff in the mail. So definitely check those out. She'll be doing it every month in 2018, and I guess we'll see what she does moving forward. The first thing that you saw me do is to cut out my journaling, and the reason why I use that Fiskars trimmer instead of the Tonic is because I had made some crop marks when I printed it out, and so in order to go from crop mark to crop mark without going all the way through the page, I needed to be able to lift up on that blade, and so I was able to do that with the Fiskars. I've had that for a very long time, and I've just you know, never gotten rid of it because you never know when it might come in handy, and it totally did. So now you can see that I'm just using the Tonic guillotine trimmer to trim out that photo. And one of the things I wanted to ask you is about with this trimmer is I noticed that it wasn't cutting 100% straight when I was working on my December daily. In fact, it seemed pretty off, and I didn't know, I don't remember this ever being like that at the beginning. So I wanted to ask if you guys own it, if you're having any issues, because I'm wondering if maybe it fell off my desk and got damaged or something like that. So I'm trying to decide if I should buy a new one. You know, maybe mine's defective. I don't know. So let me know if you guys own it, if you have any problems with it. But I really do love that trimmer, so I want to make it work. All right, so you can see that I pulled over the chipboard that came with the kit. I had failed to mention those at the beginning of this video when I was showing you the kit. So it comes with the cards, it comes with the stamps that I'm using right now, and then it also comes with those chipboard embellishments, which is really cute. Like I said, a great versatile set. All right, so I'm using the stamps, and I've got this one that says I love you, and I've pulled out my Stazon white ink, and I'm using the Stazon instead of the other white ink that I usually use, just because I thought that this would maybe stick a little bit better to the photo and stay on. And you saw that I actually had to put a little bit more ink in it. It actually comes with a dry pad, and you have to add ink to it. I've had this for quite a while, and so I just added a little bit more of the ink to it. So it definitely does go a long way, and I like to store those upside down so that the ink is, you know, falling to the top. So you can see that I just stamped a whole bunch on a diagonal. I'm kind of trying to make a place for some embellishments to sit, so I'm making a little bit of a cluster, which honestly is not my strength, but I'm wanting to do it. Definitely want to play a little bit more and branch out a little bit more as well. So I grabbed over this brown bag that the products actually came in, and I thought that this would be a great alternative to just white cardstock, is to use the brown. And since it was just sitting there, it was perfect. I didn't have to grab any more of my cardstock or anything like that. Plus I love that paper bag color. And you can see that I stamped the thank you for loving me, that stamp right on there in the black Versamark ink. And then I'm just, you know, playing with some of the chipboards and layering those up. Love that simple heart. And as I'm like laying it all down, I'm feeling like I want a little bit more of that I love you to show through. And so I'm stamping some, and you'll see that I actually end up stamping quite a few more. I guess I just wanted it to feel a little bit less uniform, and then kind of a little bit more bulky, like that tag was actually, you know, sitting on something. You know, it was more of a collage-y type thing. So I think in just a second, you'll see that I end up stamping in between some of the lines that I had already stamped, just to thicken everything up a bit. Plus I love that it looked even just a little bit more white than the first one I had laid down. So I'm just playing with that a little bit more and making sure that it's exactly how I want it to go. I know that I want to add one more thing onto that thank you tag, but I haven't quite figured it out. You can see that I pulled out the little dot that went in the tag that came with the chipboards to see if it needed a little something more, and I feel like it definitely did need a little bit something more. So then I went ahead and I grabbed over my date stamp, and I want to add a date on the bottom of the journaling. That greenish color, that was an Ali Edwards stamped ink, and I was wondering if that is one that I wanted to use, but it stamped out a little bit more green than what I wanted, and so I pulled over the Studio Calico's gray ink. I think that's called Gray Area. I didn't want something really black, but I didn't necessarily want to add another color to the layout, so I just went ahead and used that gray there. And now I'm just going to start adhering things on to my layout. You can see that I just took that little dot off. I really added it on just to kind of see if it needed a little bit something more. So I think the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm looking at it right now, and it just feels like that journaling needs something. Like it's kind of, it either needs to sit in a page protector or it needs a border. So I went ahead and I ended up drawing a border. You can see that I did like a little practice on a piece of cardstock to see if I would like it, because I didn't want to redo it if I didn't. But I really like what it adds. I feel like it just kind of grounds everything instead of feeling like it's floating. So you notice that I do that kind of a lot when I've got like just a blank piece of white cardstock, like in a Project Life card that I'm putting in my spread. Oftentimes I will do a border to make it feel a little bit more grounded. So I'm looking at what more I can add. And as I'm looking on my desk, I had just bought a couple of things from Freckled Fawn. So hopefully these are still available. And I didn't even realize that I would have hearts in there. I kind of forgot, but it had these cute heart embellishments and I was super excited when I pulled it out. This is something that's really fun and really great to be able to add to a card, just to add a little something. Like, you know, when you get those designer cards for Project Life and it's got a quote on it, this is a little fun thing that you can add just to make it pop and make it a little bit more special. And so I grabbed the heart that kind of was around the same color as the Love Wins chipboard up there at the top. Then I wanted to add a little bit more to this actual spread, and that's the one thing that I'm pretty excited about, creating stories that are a lot like the December daily, things that you can just add outside of the pockets. Because I like that I can just, you know, I loved these cards and I like that then I can just have them in the album without feeling like I have to add another page protector or something like that. So I'm pretty excited. At this point, I'm putting the holes in it, and I was trying to decide if I wanted it to be at the bottom or at the top, and you could see that once I punch the holes, you can see they're pretty close to the edge, but I wanted to do it in the middle regardless. Another thing that I was thinking about, because this is on the outside of the page protectors, I wondered if I should, you know, trim off the edge of that journaling and put it in a 3x4. But as of now, I've just left it as is. Anyways, you guys, that is my layout for this month. Really looking forward to playing with Ali Edwards' subscription by the month kit. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you being here. And if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. All right, we will catch you in the next one. Bye.